I want to talk about Project Sunstreak because I thought it was fake until I went on the CIA.gov and found it. And I was like, what am I looking at? On December 5th, 1988, this one man was to find the Ark of the Covenant. And what he saw was bone chilling. And I have the document right here.
Directly from .gov.
This is what he said about the Ark of the Covenant. Target is in a container and is decorated with seraphims. Target is located somewhere in the Middle East, as the language spoken by individuals seem to be Arabic. The target is hidden underground. It has something to do with ceremony, memory, and the resurrection.
What?
There is an aspect of spirituality, lessons, and historical knowledge far beyond what we know. The target is protected by entities.
What?
This container cannot be opened until the time is deemed correct. Individuals opening the container by prying or striking are destroyed by the container's protectors through the use of a power unknown to us. That is a CIA document.
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard, dude. Entities?
It's protected by entities.
You're saying that this person acquired this knowledge through using one of those, like, basically like beaming a visual?
Psychoenergetics is what it's called. Remote viewing, the ability to describe remote areas, ability to influence physical or biological systems via undefined physical mechanisms.
It's Stranger Things for real.
That's insane.
I hate that.
But these were actual programs the CIA was running. It's not like
For years.
they learned about it and they're just putting it in there for archive purposes. Like, they were doing this. They were the ones running it.
The conspiracy is that the CIA went and apprehended the Ark of the Covenant.
That's a crazy story, dude.
If they did do that, that's diabolical.
Prediction for 2025. You won't believe what's coming. A well-connected whistleblower has just revealed what could change everything. And if history repeats itself, we need to be ready. Remember the time traveler who predicted COVID-19 before it happened? He was mocked, but now his latest warnings are too eerily precise to ignore. Here are 3 things he predicted. Stay tuned, because the last one is going to shock you. Number 1, he says 2 of the most powerful men in modern history, Donald Trump and Elon Musk, will have a catastrophic fallout. Musk controls the largest satellite network, AI, and even transportation to Mars. But what happens if Trump, set to reclaim his presidency, turns on him? Some say it could mean tech censorship, government crackdowns, or even a surveillance war. Number 2, the Menendez brothers could walk free. A legal loophole might release the infamous Menendez brothers, convicted of murdering their parents. Wish you listened.
You better wait.
See, and when I seen that, I was like, some of that already did happen. But I don't know exactly when this video was made. So it could just been, somebody and stuff out for views.
Up and find out. It's been around you all of your life. You just didn't see it. Example, Abraham Lincoln was elected to Congress in 1846. John Kennedy was elected to Congress 1946. Abe Lincoln was elected president in 1860. John Kennedy was elected president 1960. The names Lincoln and Kennedy both contain 7 letters. Both presidents were particularly concerned with civil rights. Both of the president's wives lost children while living in the White House. Both presidents were shot on a Friday in the head. President Lincoln's secretary was named Miss Kennedy. Kennedy's secretary was named Miss Lincoln. Both were assassinated by Southerners. Both were succeeded by Southerners. Andrew Johnson, who succeeded Lincoln, was born in 1808. Lyndon Johnson, who succeeded Kennedy, was born in 1908. John Wilkes Booth, who assassinated Lincoln, was born in 1839. Lee Harvey Oswald, who assassinated Kennedy in 1939. Both assassins were known by 3 names: John Wilkes Booth, Lee Harvey Oswald, Both names are comprised of 15 letters. President Lincoln was shot in a theater named Ford. Kennedy was shot in a car named Lincoln, made by Ford. John Wilkes Booth ran to a theater and was caught in a warehouse. Oswald ran from a warehouse and was caught in a theater. Booth and Oswald were both assassinated before they could go to trial. And a week before Lincoln was shot, he was in Monroe, Maryland. A week before Kennedy was shot, he was in Maryland, Monroe.
The truth is hidden in plain sight, and this is how they hide everything. If you are looking for the knowledge that has been hidden from us, if you want to know the meaning behind these symbols, if you want to know who controls the world, this ebook will literally unveil that to you, and ye shall know the truth, and truth shall set you free.
Now, that's wild. Like, is it astrology? Was it called gematria? What's going on there? Thoughts? I don't even know, but that is kind of crazy. See, I would have put in my not even. I don't even know. I try to put in the 2 weeks if I have to, but I don't even know. I would have tried to get up out of there as soon as possible. I don't want nothing following me home. Just gotta pray to the Lord, read some scriptures, and hope for the best.
Seeing no one else around, it makes no sense for this to have appeared. To the worker, this had to be the thing, or perhaps the hand that touched his shoulder. The quality of the footage makes it hard to tell, but there's no denying that something appears close to his neck before it goes away. Whatever it was, he felt it. Now, the employees who've seen this cannot figure out what this was. Cameron, who shared this video, thinks there's no other explanation except for the restaurant being haunted. There have been more than a few times where something unexplainable occurred here, but despite these 2 videos and all the others, it's the following footage he shares that I think is perhaps the freakiest.
This is a true story.
So do y'all think like it was built on some type of cemetery, or someone probably lost their lives there in a tragic way? Why is that place seems to be getting hunted? Or is it just like one of them places that's like connected to like the supernatural and weird stuff has occurred? Let me know y'all thoughts down below in them comments. Let's engage.
In the late 1960s, dozens of children across the U.S. began reporting the same thing. A man in a clown suit, standing outside schools, hiding near parks, or offering rides in a van with no windows. Police dismissed the stories at first. They said it was mass hysteria, the prank, but then kids started disappearing. The man was described as tall, wearing a faded clown costume, red gloves, and face paint that looked wrong, smudged, almost rotting. Parents reported seeing a massive white van parked near playgrounds, always moving just before police arrived. Some claimed they saw more than one clown inside, laughing, watching. Newspapers refused to print the story. No official reports were released. But in 1968, a boy from Ohio went missing after saying, "The funny man asked me to see his balloon." They never found the child. Over the next year, similar sightings happened in Illinois, Pennsylvania, and Georgia. Some say it was a group, a gang, that used the costumes as a cover. Others believe it was something darker, hidden beneath the paint. To this day, no one was ever arrested. No names, no faces, just drawings and old case files, all showing the same thing: a clown with black eyes and a smile that never moved.
Did you know there's a lot?
That's creepy, scary, and sorry if that's real. I'm sorry that even occurred to them children and families, man. That ain't it. That's not it. Whatever it was, whoever it was, it's just not it.
blowing whistle.
I'm not doing that. I wouldn't recommend that. That just sounds wild. I'm not even gonna go look for that type of live footage. It's just not it for me. That live stream is not it.
Blower just turned up not alive. You know how Boeing's planes have been falling apart in midair for the last but
That's wild. It's sad that even occurred to the brother. You know, he could have shared some big secrets and truths about Bowen because they wild. Like none of this stuff should be occurring. And what do y'all think happened? It could have been like, you know, some gang stalking, some NK Ultra. Um, you know, that gang stalking stuff wild though. Other than that, man, that's a little fishy, weird, all rolled into one.
I had the opportunity over the years to interview, again, people who have worked at the test site at Groom Lake. One gentleman spent 12 of his 30 years in black programs at Groom Lake. When I asked him, I said, first of all, I said, do you believe in UFOs? And he looked at me with a straight face in one-on-one. He said, absolutely, positively, they do exist. I said, can you expand upon that? He said, no, I can't. About a year later, we were talking about, again, activities at Groom Lake. And I asked him, I said, you know, can you really tell me what's happening out there? He said, well, there's a lot of things that are going on there that I won't be able to tell you until the year 2025. But we have things in the Nevada desert that would make George Lucas envy.
Like
This is maybe the scariest.
I believe a lot of technology they do have, regardless of where they have gotten it from. To me, the most concerning part is just man's nature and those that run things. What could they be doing to other people that we just don't know about? Then we gonna find out, like, you know, well, they've been attacking these people, stealing technology, and hopefully that doesn't come and bite us in the butt, you know. But some things we just gotta bear as a whole, you know, the human collective.
urban legend I've ever heard, and it ended up being true. Back in the 1970s, there was this terrifying fun house in Long Beach, California called The Laugh in the Dark. And there was always this urban legend that all the mannequins inside were fake, except for one. Also, mind you, this is what this week's episode is about, so if you don't want spoilers, just listen to the episode. This urban legend came to be because there was one mannequin inside that just looked wrong. All of the other ones looked fake, but this one in particular looked way too human. And a bunch of the kids also said the area that the mannequin was in just smelled really, really bad. So a few years go by, and one day a film crew comes in and is using Laugh in the Dark for a film set. The director's lining up a shot, and he just doesn't like the way this one mannequin looks in frame. So he goes over to a crew member and he's like, hey, can you just move this out of the shot? So the crew member goes over and starts moving the mannequin when its arm pops off. And inside of the mannequin's arm is human bone. The kids had been totally right. The mannequin was a mummified body. There's so much more to this story, like who the person was and how they got there, and I talk about the whole thing this week on the episode.
There was this girl named Emily, and Emily said when she was younger, she lived in Michigan on this farm, and she said it was right next to the Manistee National Forest. And she remembers one specific time when her father was outside late working on the farm. She was inside with her mother. And she said all of a sudden her father come running in the house, and he was panicked and he was scared. And she said he went right into the bedroom, he grabbed his firearm, and he told everyone, get in the hallway and crouch down. Now they're scared because they don't know what's going on. And Emily and her mother and stuff were asking her father, like, hey, you know, what's going on? What's wrong? And she said her father just kept saying, be quiet, don't talk, be quiet, just duck down, don't talk. And she said that's when they heard what sounded like footsteps up on the roof of the house. And she said it was just these loud crashing footsteps, like something large was walking on top of the house. And she said her dad, you know, just clutched the firearm and was shaking this whole time. She said for the next 10 or 15 minutes, they could hear stuff walking around on the roof, and they would hear these loud howls coming from outside. And she said just as it started, boom, it was quiet, and whatever it was gone. And she said her father, you know, that whole night was just on edge and was terrified of something. She tried to ask her father, you know, what was that? What happened? And she said her father wouldn't speak about it and said, don't worry about it. It's nothing. The next couple of months, she said the people around town, they were all talking about this large, hairy man. And she said around the farm, there were these strange footprints, very large footprints. And she said on a regular basis, livestock was coming up missing. And she had lost several goats and chickens. And she really had no idea at the time what was going on. Well, she said after a while, you know, everyone kind of stopped talking about it and she forgot. Well, she said her father one night told her and her sister, I need you to go out to the barn and check on the animals. So her and her sister went outside of the house. They walk over to the barn and they open the door. They go inside, you know, and it's pitch black. And she starts reaching around for this pull string light. All of a sudden, as she's reaching for the light, she grabs something. And she said it was just this thick, matted fur. And at the time, she thought maybe this was a farm animal. And she said, like, what could be this big? And she said it was just very...
Do y'all think that's some form of sentient being? Like it was like, okay, it knew the little girl was a little girl or something that's a non-threat, and it was there for them goats or the farm animals, whatever it could have been looking for. So that's why they didn't get hurt. Because think about it, if it was like threat, soon as they walked up in there, it would have been issues immediately. I don't know, that's kind of wild.
A young couple stayed up so late watching movies that by the time the credits rolled, the buses had already stopped running. With no way home, the boy asked if he could stay the night. She hesitated, but eventually agreed. She took the bed and laid a spare mattress on the floor right beside it. In minutes, they both dozed off. A few hours after midnight, she woke to something strange. The boy was standing over her, saying nothing, just staring. Startled, she whispered, "What's wrong?" He answered, "I'm hungry. Let's go get some tandoori chicken." Confused, she said, "It's 2 a.m. There's food in the kitchen." But he grabbed her wrist, tight. hard. No, we're getting tandoori chicken. Right now. He pulled her out of bed, dragged her down the hall, and didn't say a word until they were outside the apartment. Only then did he finally speak. I'm not hungry. When you were asleep, I saw someone lying under your bed.
He probably saved her. It was probably very scary for that young lady, but hey, you got to do what you got to do. Luckily, she followed suit, but at the same time, it could have been dangerous. It's just one of them situations you got to try to pick the right people to hang with and to allow into your life, and that's very difficult because people wear masks.
Watch this video to the end. What's going on with these mirrors? This video is for entertainment purposes only.
So the mirror cannot see her because there's a towel. She's holding a towel. All right. She's staying very still, and the mirror cannot see her.
Got it.
Except her elbow right there. How does the mirror know who's behind them?
What?
How does the mirror know who's behind the towel?
What the Shut up! Come on!
How does the mirror know who's behind the towel?
How is that even possible?
I can see a girl's face behind the towel. How does the mirror see that?
How? Ah! It's not gay. Shut up! Let's go through here, guys. So you're telling me if I put a towel over my mirror and somebody's next to me, they'll still be able to see who's behind that towel? Stop playing with me, son. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I don't know what the hell they talking about. I don't even know if that's true. I'm about to try it out for myself. Shut up! With these mirrors. What? Stop playing with me, son. I can't even say it, guys. I'm not gonna say it. You know what's happening. Check your mirrors out. Check it. I done seen multiple videos before where people. Shut up! I can't even say it. Stop playing with me, son. I came out here, guys, and you better get rid of those mirrors. What you got it for? You got a stand-up mirror? Let me guess, you got the mirror in your bathroom? You look at it while you're doing your makeup? Put something over the mirror, and I bet you that mirror will still know that you're there. Stop playing with me, son. I came out here, guys, and you better get ready for what's next. But I tell you one thing. If I'm ever in the mirror, and somebody tells me, put a towel over it, and they tell me that, yo, I can still see you through the towel, yeah?
That could just be one of them situations to where a glitch. Lord was like, I didn't know they was gonna make mirrors. Who knows? Like, that is kind of wild. We gotta experiment with that one. Y'all got to. Some things I just rather not play with.
Is that it's being called the clearest UFO footage ever, and online AI detectors are confirming it's not AI generated with over 99% accuracy. A triangular shaped craft with no visible propulsion system, flashing strange sparks of blue light in the sky. Some are calling it extraterrestrial technology, but others believe this is what is known as a TR-3B, or Black Manta, a rumored anti-gravity aircraft made under top secret government black budget programs. Technology beyond our imagination they'll never admit exists, using reverse engineered crashed alien spacecraft propulsion systems operated by the US Navy and Air Force, which the United States of course denies, even though there are confirmed government-owned patents for triangular spacecraft that were filed in 2004 and abandoned after 2006, whose description just so happens to sound almost exactly like what we're looking at over here. The same craft that has been spotted numerous times around the world over the decades, only to get swept aside as a hoax or nothing to see here. But no, please Google this so you can read all about how it's 100% debunked, and don't you dare question it any further. Good boy. You can scroll to the next video.
Strangest things in history that really happened. So back in 1915, a woman from South Carolina named Essie Dunbar suffered an epileptic seizure that caused her to collapse and quit breathing. A doctor was summoned and he checked Essie for a pulse, and he declared her deceased. Soon after that, Essie's family arranged for a quick funeral. The funeral was held at a local church. Essie's body was placed in a wooden coffin and lowered into her grave, as mourners gathered around to pay their respects. The problem is, while all this was going on, Essie's sister was out of town, which made her late for the services. By the time she got there, Essie's coffin had already been placed into the grave and covered with dirt. When Essie's sister realized that Essie had already been buried, she begged the 3 presiding ministers to give her one last chance to see her sister's face. The 3 preachers collectively sighed, and they agreed. So they dug Essie up and hauled the coffin back to the surface. Then they unscrewed the lid and unsealed the coffin. That's when all hell broke loose. That's because Essie Dunbar sat straight up in her coffin and smiled at everyone. People began screaming and running for their lives. The 3 preachers got knocked over into the grave. 2 of them trampled the 3rd one, breaking several of that priest's ribs. Things grew even worse after that when Essie climbed out of her coffin and began chasing after the mourners that were all running away from her, thinking Essie was a zombie. Even after that, it took some convincing for some of the locals to believe that Essie wasn't a zombie. Essie Dunbar went on to live for another 47 years until finally passing away in May of 1962 at age 77. This time was for keeps. At least I think it was.
About this, but have you ever actually seen them build new cemeteries? Think about it. Billions of people have lived and go, yet cemeteries never seem to run out of space. Why is that? You'd expect the world to be drowning in graves, every city buried under endless tombstones, but no, somehow it never happens. Cemeteries just stay the same. So here's the question, where are all the bodies? Are they really all still there, or do they quietly remove them after a certain time? Some say graves are reused, others whisper about mass relocation projects where bodies are taken out, moved, or even destroyed without anyone knowing. And then there's the darker idea that not everyone is buried where we think they are. Some are taken for science, some for industries you wouldn't want to know about, and some maybe vanish into systems we aren't allowed to understand. If billions have gone, the earth should be overflowing with bones, but cemeteries remain neat, orderly, never too full. That's not nature, that's management. Quiet, controlled, hidden management. This is just a theory, not a fact.
Wild. I'll be honest with you. I've seen a few theories. What if it's glitter? Because no one knows how glitter is made. Soylent Green. There's so many different wild theories behind that one. But hopefully y'all enjoyed the showing today. Let me know if y'all want 2 videos a week. But right now we just gonna do 1 video a week. Other than that, thank you for watching. If you like what I put together here, subscribe, comment below. I'll catch y'all next time.